Alrighty, we're live. What's going on? It's Charles Botensten. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing weekend. So I just wanted to go live very quickly, and I know I say that every single time. Maybe we should turn it like that a little bit better. So essentially, I'm going to be going over the reason to not only have goals. It sounds very cliche, but if you don't know where you're going, then you're just going to go anywhere. It's kind of like that quote where it says, if you don't believe in God, you'll believe in anything. And obviously, any atheists out there or agnostic, it's not the actual literal quote, but if you don't have any beliefs, then you will believe anything. So we're entering the last portion of the year, okay? And I just want to make sure that this is on Do Not Disturb. This might be a little bit longer. Why do I go live like this? All right, so number one is, in my life, I've noticed that accountability is everything. Accountability towards my goals, accountability towards working out, to making sales calls, approaching pretty girls. Because 2 years ago, I was kind of a fraud, okay? I was saying, and I was pretending I was coming across as someone that I really wasn't, okay? Yes, I was eating well-ish. Yes, I was waking up early-ish, but I really wasn't, okay? And essentially, these videos are a translation of who I am trying to be, which is the best version of myself. So essentially, I put these goals out there for one of two reasons. Number one is that I have to live into it. So I wrote them down, and I implore you, we are a week away from Labor Day. Write down your 5-month goal, your 1-year goal, your 5-year goal, your 10-year goal. That's four different types of goals. You don't have to do all of them, but at least have a short term. 6 months is short term. That may sound, oh my God, that's crazy. Or 1 year, I don't know. Or 10 years, that's so far down the line, I have no idea. But have an idea, and by have an idea, I literally wrote my 15-year, I wrote all the way to 15 years, my 15-year goal is to be a great father. Okay, I think that is vitally important. I know that the majority of the people that watch this are men, but even if you're not, be a great parent if that's the route you want to go down. Okay, I can tell you right now, and I'll just riff on that for just 1 second. And the reason being, there's a lot of people that say, oh, kids aren't everything. I'm going to pursue my career. I have seen a monumental shift of people when they reach age 39 to 42 just say, wow, am I just going to do this for another 40 years? I'm 40 years old. Am I going to continuously walk down this path of going to the same job every single day and doing the same thing and have the same conversations at the same place? Am I going to keep on doing that? And that's when they say, maybe I'm not. Maybe this isn't right for me. Maybe I want something different. I literally have client after friend, after even my sister. They all just said, you know what? Why am I just going to slave away at this job? This isn't my ultimate goal. This isn't my ultimate legacy. So to not fall into that trip, to not fall into that societal bullshit that's getting pushed right now, which is, well, actually focus on your career. You know what? I don't think so. I think you should focus on being the best version of yourself and inserting your career and inserting your health and inserting your relationships and children if you want it. Whatever you want or don't want. In other words, you keep on the path of being the best version of yourself, and then you start adding shit when it's ready. Perfect example is myself. I wasn't ready for half of the things that I'm doing right now because I wasn't there. I wasn't disciplined enough. I wasn't waking up early enough, say triathlon trading or making sales calls or bringing on new people in the business. So being a great father. In 15 years, so I'm going to go backwards and I'll talk about how this all relates to you guys, is being a global speaker, okay? I am stunned by the people that are actually out there pushing relatively all right information, but there's really not one person that I grasp onto and I say, that person is just like me. I can't relate to Tony Robbins. I can't relate to Grant Cardone. I can't relate to Brian Tracy. I can't relate to Les Brown. I can't relate to all these guys. A little bit of Gary Vaynerchuk, maybe a little bit, but he curses too much and blah, blah, blah. And there is such a space for someone that is authentic. They came from someone in lower to middle class, I would say middle class background, hardworking parents that my parents just said, listen, we're not going to bring you on trips. You're not going to have a cell phone, but we're going to instill in you hard work and getting your hands dirty and all that other jazz, and you'll be able to figure it out afterwards. It took a long fucking time to get to this point. 10-year goal. So that's the global speaker, great father. And then relationships. I want to at least I'm 34. I want within the next 5 years, which actually is a good way to write it down, within the next 5 years, have an idea of the person that I potentially want to marry, okay? Within the next 5 years, maybe between 5 and 7 years, okay? This is why it's vitally important, okay? Because say you want to go down that route, okay? Say you want to go down the marriage route. Some people don't, some people do, whatever. I want to have kids. I want to have it with someone that I'm married to, okay? I don't want to have it with someone that can just fucking walk away and then I'm raising these kids by myself, because you need the masculine and the feminine. You need the chaos and the order. You need the creativity and you need the discipline. You need both, okay? So that's the type of woman that I'm looking for. And I noticed that out in California. I met someone who was feminine, she was outgoing, she was smiling, she was into personal development, she was a fitness instructor. Thank you very much for the compliment on the content. She was literally everything that in the initial 2 days I can sense if someone is right for me, okay? And I'm not talking about marriage, but I mean at least to go out with, at least to explore that opportunity. If you don't date, you will settle. You will settle. If you don't look for a lot of job interviews or a lot of jobs, you will settle. If you don't have a lot of clients, you will have to take on the shitty clients. It's the matter of abundance, okay? Does it start with mindset? Yes. Does it also start with action? Yes. So in other words, relationships, you have to go on a lot of dates. Okay, let's just go down to ratios for a second. Okay, let's just do this math and logically. There's 20 people that you approach on the street and you think they are your type physically, and say those 20 people are available. Okay, they're not married, they're not in relationships. Out of 20 people, 10 of them will not be your type or her type. Okay, she won't be right for you and you won't be right for her. That's 10. Okay. 5 of them, they're all right, but after the conversation, you say, I don't think I want to go out with them. 5 of them you'll probably go out with, 3 of them you'll go out with a second time, and only 1 of them you will actually maybe date, okay? The percentage is actually probably lower. It's probably 3 to 4% and not 5%, okay? So why am I saying that? If you only approach 5 people and you choose 1 of them, that means 20% success ratio, 1 out of 5? No. So what I'm saying is, if you are whatever age you are, and you want to get married or be in a relationship, and this could be every other area of your life, and I'll get into that in a second, is that if I want to get married at 40, probably a little after, maybe 42, so that's 8 years away, I have to have an idea of what I'm looking for now. So I can search all of these years to date and figure it out and talk to as many women as I can, because I do believe marriage forever. I only want to get married once, okay? I am only in it for the long term. So what does that mean? I hope she also, sorry about that, I hope she also has dated as well. So she is confident that I'm also her type. Okay? I don't want her being like, well, I guess this is the best. I don't want also to say, well, I guess this is the best. Let's just try this. And the reason I'm saying that is because I have way too many of my friends, and I know way too many people that essentially said, I'm 33, I'm 34, you're the best person. Let's get married. That's not the route you want to take. So that is the importance of long-term goals. If your long-term goal is, I want to become a public speaker, I want to make a certain amount of money, okay? You can't earn $1 million if you're not ready to earn $1 million, okay? Unless someone gives it to you without earning it, you are not ready to earn $1 million, okay? I'll take it back to relationships. If the most beautiful girl that you think is the most beautiful girl, she's kind and sincere, great family, feminine, whatever else you're looking for, she's in shape, she's growth mindset, she's got her shit together. And you go out on date 1, if you are not ready for that type of quality woman, then there will be no date 2. And it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with a job. If someone said, hey, listen, Charles, we're going to pay you $5 million and you're going to be running this $500 million company. Most people say, holy shit, $5 million, but you're not ready to run a $500 million company. You have to get good enough. That is why it comes down to the beginning. The beginning, I said it, which is you keep on becoming the best version of yourself, and then you insert things into your life. Health, relationships, abundance, whatever you want to insert into your life. Kids, a new house, triathlon training, you insert it into your life. My 5-year goal. So my 5-year goal is to, and again, these are just basic, this is a framework. This is a framework. That's it. 5-year goal, world-class athlete. I want to essentially become a world-class athlete at triathlon training. And it has nothing to do with actually being a world-class athlete. And I'm not talking about becoming first, second, or third in triathlons, because those are for people that are dedicated to it, okay? I mean, I want to become the best athlete that I can. And the reason being, it has nothing to do with the actual, here's a good example. It has nothing to do with the actual triathlon or the fitness. So I was watching someone who said, what are the best games at a fair to actually play? Okay, what are the best games? Is it the throwing games? Is it the bottle games? The basketball games? How do you win it? And then the person said, if you want to rig it, you do this. And then someone in the comment, and then they said the bear that you win is only like 65 cents and you're paying $5, and then the odds of winning are probably actually $10 because you have to play it 2 times. And the comment was right. It's not about the bear. It's not about winning the bear at the fair. It is the honor. It is the person you became. It is the reward after you did something. And it is the same thing with a world-class athlete, or my other ones, which is a great father or a global speaker, okay? I didn't actually go over my 10-year goal. I'll go over that, my 10-year goal. So world-class athlete means I need to start disciplining myself now. I have to understand myself. I was at a fair, talking about fairs, I was at a fair last week, and I came back on Friday, and essentially I did not work out. That's not good. So I understand that if I come back from something, vacation, a conference, a fair, family event, whatever the case is, I have to work out the next day. I have to. Because my body says, if you don't, let's get used to laziness. So my 10-year goal, which I skipped, is I want to be out of production at my company. Out of production means I'm not making day-to-day sales calls. I'm not working open houses. The second one is my real estate brand is a premier real estate brand, okay? What does that mean? I have to, again, start right now. My 1-year goal, I want my onboarding process for agents to be perfect. And by perfect, I mean good enough. Good enough. They don't have to be perfect. I also want to bring on someone. Essentially, the 6-month goal is something, what do I need to start? All of these things I have to start today. And all of these things I actually have to be looking at almost every single day. I did this last year every single day, and then I got off of that track earlier this year because I said, well, I'm disciplined, I'm kind of making calls, I don't really need to. So this is the reason being, I heard this thing a week ago. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm probably gonna be doing a lot more Instagram videos because it seems like people like that. So essentially, a Blue Angels pilot said this. He said, we have seen through research that a pilot will instinctively do something that we want him to do, which in other words, you're not thinking about it, you just do it. Your brain has wired its neurological connections, its dendrites are literally like this. Instead of coming together, they are like this. After 64 times. 64 times. It is not days, it is not hours, it's 64 times, okay? I've talked about this multiple times. There's 3 ways to do a habit. Frequency, how often do you do it? Duration, how long do you do it? Intensity, how hard do you do it, okay? Frequency, when you're building a habit, frequency is everything. It is not the outcome. Goal setting. It is, let me just get to that in a second. It is not about the outcome when you are starting a habit. It is about going to the gym. It is not about lifting the most amount of weights or making sure that all of your calls go to appointments. It is not about that. It is essentially about just jumping in the pool. It is about getting on your bike. It is about just showing up 64 times, okay? This is the thing. Most people say, oh, it's 30 days. Yeah, but how many times did you actually do it in those 30 days? Was it 12 or was it 30? Oh, okay, so essentially what this Blue Angels, pretty good pilots, 64 times. So that's over 2 months every single day. That's why their training is so intense. That's why Navy SEALs, they're going for 18 months before they even see any kind of SEAL action, okay? Goal setting. There really is no, I have the classic, This is pretty fucking good, okay? Chapter, I think it is 4, goes over essentially, it's chapter 4, and essentially it goes, it's a great freaking video? Alex Honnold, who is that free solo guy. I've been following him for years, literally for years, probably 5 or 6 years, okay? And he said something so amazing. I want to look up the video or go back and watch the video again. So this is after Free Solo. I think the movie already came out, but he was just doing all these, interviews. So they said, he started going into how he was able to free solo, no ropes, a 3,000 foot vertical granite mountain. It takes people days to do that, and he did it under 4 hours, okay? So this is what he said he did. He did 10 years indoor training, not even outside. 10 years. 10 years indoors. Then he did 10 years outdoors. 10 years indoors, 10 years outdoors. 20 years. 20. So essentially, he did so many repetitions of climbing. You literally see the video of him, of the voice of his girlfriend saying, you don't have to do this. What about me? Why do you need to do this? You don't have to. You're good enough. What if you die? These are all things she said. These are all things that probably went into his head. Guess what? That's our lives. His responses were unbelievable. I literally watched it to California twice back to back because I said, that is the mindset of a master. That is the master mindset. That is a craftsman. So he started going into it. This is so fascinating. He started going into it and he said, there's another one. It's called Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. And he said, that was the biggest thing that I've ever done in my life. And once I completed that, I just said, what if? What if I can do El Capitan? What if I can do this 3,000 foot sheer granite rock face that no one has ever free soloed? And then he went into climbing it. Every single he literally said exactly what's in this book. He visualized it. He just closed his eyes and he said he felt how it would feel. He would feel what it would be like up on the mountain face, tired. A bat comes from out of a crack. A wind gust. He literally was saying this. I'm like, that's in Think and Grow Rich. He then journaled it every single day. Every day. He visualized each movement and then he journaled it. I need to go back to journaling. I need to go back to visualizing. Conor McGregor has talked about it. Yes, he's in the news for other things, but he has talked about it. And then when Alex Honnold literally said that he would rappel backwards down the mountain and literally look at each handhold, his foot, his hand, what it would feel like grasping on to something that's this thin and it was just his fingertips. That is goal setting. The what if, after you completed indoor climbing for 10 years, outdoor climbing for 10 years, and then you do half dome free soloing. And then you do El Capitan. El Capitan is the Tom Brady, is the Wayne Gretzky, is the Michael Jordan, okay? He is the best, okay? There was another one, I think it's called slacking, okay? So there's something called free solo slacking, where you literally go across a mountain to another mountain without a rope. You are literally going across. It's called free solo slacking. There's a 30-minute documentary. I watch it. Yes, it's entertaining. I watch it for what's the best person saying. There's this guy, he said he literally wired, I forgot what they call it. They went from one mountain to the other with the rope, and they are roped off. And then he visualized doing it without the rope. You're walking from one mountain to the other without a fucking rope. You're tight roping between, you're 2,500 meters in the air. It's a 360 meter gap. That, talk about scary, okay? Visualization, I think, as intense as you can be, and journaling it. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How did I succeed? That is self-awareness. That is self-awareness. If you do those two things and then you have a framework, you have to have a framework. I just wrote Great Father. I don't know who I'm going to marry. I don't know where I'm going to live. I wrote down global speaker. Am I going to be, I don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. Out of production. I don't know how I'm going to be out of production, but I just know I want to be out of production. In a year, in 6 months, add a power dialer so I can call more people. Have a robust client reach out program. And number 3 is consistently mailing. I don't have a mailing company. I don't know how I'm going to mail them. I have the list. It's just, you have to have a framework. And honestly, for me, journaling is very important. That is where I say, okay, what did I tell you before? I was on a family vacation for 3 days. And then I said, I got back to New York. I didn't work out on Friday. And then my body says, oh, we don't have to work out. Okay, let's just be lazy. I'm telling you right now, self-awareness is key. How do you get self-awareness? It is journaling. It is saying, why did I not work out? Because I came back from a family vacation of 3 days. Nothing about the family vacation. It's about me getting involved after the family vacation. It is going to the gym. It is not listening to my mind. Charles, you messed up. That is the difference. Charles, you messed up, but how do we actually improve next time? Okay, family vacation, there's a conference, there is a trip somewhere, there's a triathlon somewhere. I literally wrote it after Connecticut. Once I did the Ironman 70.3 in Connecticut, I didn't work out that almost for like 4 days, 5 days. And the reason being is I didn't get right back into the gym. And my gym is my keystone habit. I wrote it down on Friday, on Tuesday. The keystone habit is the bridge comes together and there's a keystone which brings the two parts of the bridge together. You remove that, the bridge implodes. There's a keystone habit for you guys. If it's meditating, amazing. My meditating is going to the gym. My meditating is journaling. And I'm gonna do that right after this. We have a three months, September, October, November, until the next year. December, I don't count as next year. And the reason being is that December, you should already be prepped for the following year. You don't prep on January or February or March. You prep this year. You say, what is my 6-month goal? Small, all right? So that's all for today. Goal setting, there is no real good goal setting book out there. On a side note, your story and reaction to that guy who gave this number to the girls. Oh yeah, listen, men, let's just go into relationships really quick. Sorry, I'm a little parched. I gotta clean that bottle. So I've been thinking about this a lot because nobody wants to talk about it. So essentially, if you don't know the story, I was in Anaheim, and the guy in front of me I thought they were together. Very attractive girl. Guy he was all right, but I don't look at a guy and say it's about looks, because after this point, I know it's not about looks, because the most handsome guys that I know have no game because they rely on their looks and they don't know how to keep a woman interested. Yeah, they look good, but a woman doesn't look at a man and go, well, he looks good. Maybe some, but the vast majority need that stimulation of an interesting conversation or the emotional spikes, things like that. So they get up and they're leaving. It's the end of the day, and the guy's walking around. He's now literally 10 feet in front of me, and you can see that they don't know each other because they're kind of doing the, what are we going to do next? So the guy just goes, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And then the girl goes, okay. And then he walks like 10 feet, he stops, turns around, the girl then leaves. The mom, who is, I guess, next to the girl, I didn't even notice the mom, honestly. So she comes up, and then the guy walks over, and he pulls out his card, and he walks up to the mom, and he says, hey, I was sitting with your daughter. Obviously, the mom knew because they were all sitting together. And he goes, hey, give this to your daughter. The mom had the best reaction, which I didn't actually put on Instagram. The mom literally looked at the card. She goes like this. Okay. And then walks away like that. Dude, come on. We are in a time, and I'm going to tell you right now, the people that are going to hurt the most are women. And the reason being is that if men rely on the internet, if men rely on faith and luck that they're going to meet somebody by handing their card to someone else, their mom, or maybe the internet dating or things like that, if they want to rely on that, I'm not saying have it as like one of 3 ways to meet women. If that is your only way to meet women, you are in that ratio of 1 to 5. It will take you way too much time to meet 5 quality women. That's it. And guess who's going to hurt the most? Women. Because women aren't getting approached. Women aren't getting asked out. We're not stepping up. Yes, shit has happened, okay? I know there's men out there that are going to say all these things that in the last couple of years and everything else. Yes, but this is what needs to happen, okay? Because I've thought about this a lot. Why have I thought about this for a lot? Because I'm 34, and when you're 34, you start seeing all the girls that you're friends with start complaining and start saying, I can't meet anyone. I don't have anyone lined up. And they're literally making plans They're literally making plans for, if I don't have any kids, what if I don't have any kids? What if I don't meet anyone? They're 34. They're already making plans for that. I literally have 2 girls that said, I'm going to have a baby with this guy. I've already talked about it. If I reach age 40, that's 6 years. If I reach age 40 and I don't have kids, then we're going to have kids. What? All right. If that's your choice, that's your choice. But where are you going to be in 6 years? Where's he going to be in 6 years? Anyway, this is what men, we need to do. The woman is never the number one thing. Your career, or maybe not your career, that's a bad way to put it. Your legacy is your number one thing. Your number one thing could be going to church. Your number one thing could be your career. It could be whatever your calling is. It doesn't have to involve money. Sometimes it involves fixing things up. Sometimes it involves volunteering. Sometimes it involves art or photography or something creative. For me, real estate is not my calling, okay? In other words, I love real estate. That's the difference. My calling is to get on a stage and fucking speak and say, it's okay if you suck at relationships, you can learn. It's okay if you suck at fitness or eating correctly or cold calling or whatever, you can learn. It's okay. That's my calling. Real estate is, I've always liked entrepreneurship. I had SimCity, I had Sim Tower, I had Roller Coaster Tycoon. I was always building things. That's my baby. I love doing that. Real estate and building a company is my passion. But my calling is everything, okay? My calling to speak is everything. Jordan Peterson is a perfect example of what his calling is. He is doing his calling, and his wife is involved. His book is involved. His health is involved. Everything else gets inserted into his calling. Men, you have a calling. You may not know what it is. I literally just found it out this year. I'm 34. I just found it out this year that my calling is exactly what I just said. I thought it was real estate. And then I really said, are people, this is the best question to ask, are people really going to come to my funeral and say, you know what, this guy was a hell of a real estate agent? No, I don't want them to say that. I want them to say, he's very spiritual. He meditated every day. He was a great guy. He gave back a lot. He helped me out with my car. He did something. You know, that is a calling. Being a better person is a calling. Being on your path is your calling. If your wife or girlfriend is your number one, she doesn't want you to be. Because, what? She wants you to have a calling. She doesn't want her to be your calling. If everything is about that, that is, number one, not attractive. And number two, when shit goes wrong, how are you gonna make money? Okay? Your calling is being the best version of yourself until you find, I like to volunteer, I like to build, I like to do something else, I like to speak, I like to write books, I like to paint. Doesn't even have to do anything with other people. The problem is, right now, if men do not step their game up, yes, society is saying bullshit things. Yes, we are getting pushed down. Yes, but that's not who we come from a lineage of winners. We come from a lineage of men who have fought so hard to be here through war and famine. Any company can be built and destroyed by the next CEO 5 minutes after you die. Your legacy has to be. Exactly. That's the best way to put it. Your legacy lives on. So obviously, you could go to Ernest Becker, which wrote The Denial of Death. So the reason that we want to leave things behind, that's why we feel that people way back in the caveman days, 10,000, 15, 20,000 years ago, painted the caves in France, one of the oldest discovered remains is because they wanted to leave something behind. Maybe that's how they taught future generations after them. So it is your calling is essentially your legacy. Your legacy lives beyond you. Okay, that could be something that you've done, and there actually is a physical book or course or videos or something like that. Or you could just do it by being a good person. That's your legacy. It doesn't have to be grandiose. It could just be to one or two people. It could be just your garden. There's people, when I was up in Rhinebeck, New York, along the Hudson River, there's no one there. Maybe this one guy, he's an older guy. His legacy was inspirational to me. He's in his 80s by himself. His wife died. His garden is everything. He swims 1,000 meters every single day in the lake. He's in his 80s. That is a legacy. He didn't put any videos out. He didn't do anything that people are going to be buying. I was inspired. I'm getting the chills thinking about it. This guy smiling great by himself. Men, I'm telling you right now, and women out there will be, in 10 years, unfortunately, it will have to really hit the fan for women to say, you know what? We are different. It's a crazy concept. We are different. And for men, ours is we feel best when we are building, when we are contributing, when we are giving. We feel best. That's how we bond with other males. Women communicate. That's how they bond. This isn't a new concept. This is how we won the hierarchical animal kingdom chain, by coming together. So men, you have to be on your path. That's why I say 1% better every single day. Journal your path and write down the basic framework. Just do 6 months. And then just do 5 years. That's it. You don't have to be as crazy as I am and do 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years. Why am I like that? Because I need that. And then you do a video like this, or you put it out to social media. You have to have accountability. Hold me accountable. I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 6 months. I want to be able to run 3 miles in the next 6 months. Okay? It's not overnight. None of this quantum leap bullshit, okay? You do it the right way. You do it slowly, then you add 10%, then 10%, then 10%, and your body will acclimate to that, and then, wow, I look back. And by the way, I'm going to leave you on this. Time is going to pass you. 3 years is a good medium term. So the best way to do it is, what is my age? How old will I be? Okay, what is the year? Okay, don't say 3 years, okay? So for me, in my plan, I have all the way to age 70, okay? And then the year, so then I put how many years away is that? What age will I be and what year is that? So what year is it? How old am I gonna be and how many years away that is, okay? So I say, okay, that's 20 something years away. Obviously it's not, it's 36 years away, age 70, and then whatever year that is. 2056, 2057. All right. So this is the best way to do it, is say, for me, 3 years away is, I don't say 3 years away. Okay. I say 2023 or 2022. 2023 is probably a good one. Okay. 2023, I'm going to be 37. That's 3 years away. Then you say 2 years away. I'm still going to be 37 at that time. It's still going to be the year 2023. Because if you say 3 years away, your body's going to say, that's 3 years away. I don't have to start now. But if you say, okay, by this year, and I'm going to be this age, what do I want to do? What's my legacy? So world-class athlete, I would say 3 to 5 years, okay? It could be monetary. It could be a relationship. It could be anything. But essentially, when you put something into writing, that framework will translate so long as you look at it and you journal it. All right, so I'll bring up some more relationship stuff because, to be honest, it's really disheartening. You're seeing a lot of women get dogs and cats because they can't find a man. They can't find a good relationship. So they say, I need to take care of something. I need to feel like, is my job it? So they're moving out of the city. They're moving out of the city because they can't find anyone. Is my job everything? A woman asks herself that. No, it's not. okay? Personally, I think it's to find someone that you align with and you both grow together. Whether that's a relationship, whether that's short-term, whether that's long-term, whether that's marriage, whether that's with kids, you decide. You decide. It's your life. I don't give a shit. But you also have to consider that as you improve, the quality of your life will also improve. The quality of women, the amount of money you make, the body that you have, the mindset of actually eating correctly. You're going to be drinking more water instead of soda. All right? So have an amazing day. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comments below. More Instagram videos instead of these longer ones that I do. All right, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Leave your comments below so I know what to talk about next time.